A coydog is not just any animal, it's a mix between a coyote and a domestic dog. This mix makes them a hybrid, which means they come from two different kinds of animals. Coydogs are very rare and interesting because they have qualities of both coyotes and dogs. In this video, we will explore all about coydogs, where they come from, what they look like, how they behave, and how they fit into the world. Origins and history. The coydog is a special kind of animal that comes from a coyote and a domestic dog having puppies together. Both coyotes and dogs are similar enough that they can have babies, which we call coydogs. These animals have been around for quite some time, but it's hard to say exactly when people first knew about them. Coydogs are found in different places, but they are more common in areas where both dogs and coyotes live close to each other. This is because coyotes and domestic dogs need to meet to create a coydog. So, places where people live near wild areas might see more coydogs. The coydog doesn't just look interesting. It also shows us how animals from the wild and animals from our homes can mix together. Sometimes, people don't even know a dog is part coyote unless they are very familiar with how coyotes behave or look. The appearance of coydogs can vary a lot because they can inherit different features from their coyote and dog parents. Some might look more like a dog, while others might look more like a coyote. Understanding the origins of coydogs helps us learn more about nature and how different animal species interact with each other. It's fascinating to see how traits from the wild coyote mix with traits from domestic dogs, creating a unique kind of animal. This mix of wild and tame qualities makes each coydog special, with their own set of characteristics that might surprise people who are used to regular dogs. This is a big reason why scientists and animal lovers find coydogs so interesting to study and learn about. Physical characteristics. Coydogs are a mix between a coyote and a domestic dog, so they look a bit different from other animals. They can be various sizes, colors, and shapes because they get their looks from both of their parents. This means that no two coydogs look exactly the same. Most coydogs are medium-sized, which means they are not too big and not too small. They usually have a coat that can be short or long, and the colors can be a mix of gray, brown, white, or black. Their fur helps them blend into their surroundings, which is useful for living in the wild. One special thing about coydogs is their eyes. They often have very alert and bright eyes that seem to notice everything around them. This comes from their coyote side, which is wild and always watching out for danger. Their ears are another interesting feature. Coydogs usually have pointy ears, much like a coyote. These ears are very good at picking up sounds, which helps them understand what is happening around them, whether it's in the city or in the woods. Coydogs also have strong legs and are very good at running and jumping. This helps them when they need to catch food or get away from other animals that might be chasing them. Their bodies are built for being active and moving around a lot. All these physical traits make coydogs special. They carry the wild looks of their coyote parent and some of the friendly looks of their dog parent. This mix makes each coydog unique, with their own set of features that show both wild and tame sides. Behavioral traits. Coydogs have a mix of behaviors because they come from both coyotes and domestic dogs. This blend makes them very interesting, but also a bit unpredictable. Each coydog might act differently depending on which traits they pick up from their parents. One common trait in coydogs is their shyness. They are often more cautious around people than regular dogs. This comes from their coyote side, which is naturally wary of humans. Coydogs might watch from a distance or hide instead of coming close like a friendly dog might. Even though they can be shy, coydogs are also known for being very smart and aware of their surroundings. They learn quickly and can understand many situations, which is a trait they inherit from both coyotes and dogs. This intelligence helps them figure out how to get food and stay safe. Coydogs can also be very loyal, especially if they live with a family. This loyalty is a trait from the dog side of their family. If a coydog grows up with people who take good care of it, it can become a loving and protective pet. However, because of their wild side, they sometimes need more space and may not always behave like typical household dogs. In the wild or in large open areas, coydogs might show more of their coyote nature. They could be good hunters, moving quietly and quickly to catch small animals. This hunting skill comes naturally to them and shows how their wild instincts mix with their learned behaviors from being part dog. Overall, the behavior of a coy dog can be a surprising mix of being cautious, clever, and sometimes friendly, depending on their environment and how they were raised. Coy dogs in the ecosystem. Coy dogs play a unique role in the ecosystem because they are part coyote and part dog. They fit into nature in special ways, and their presence can have different effects on the environment and the animals and people living in it. In nature, coy dogs are sometimes part of the food chain. They can hunt smaller animals, which means they help control the population of these creatures. This is important because it keeps the number of small animals, like rodents, from getting too high, which can help farmers and people who live nearby. However, coy dogs can also be a challenge. Since they are part wild, they might compete with other native animals for food. This can make it hard for those animals to find enough to eat, especially if there are many coy dogs in the area. Also, because they can be bold and curious due to their dog traits, coy dogs might come closer to human areas more often than coyotes would. This can lead to them getting into trash, gardens, and sometimes causing problems for people. The impact of coy dogs can vary a lot depending on where they live. In places where humans and nature are very close, like near forests or parks, coy dogs might be seen more often, and their effects on the local wildlife and community can be more noticeable. Understanding how coy dogs fit into their ecosystem is important. It helps us see how the actions of people, like letting dogs roam free where they can meet coyotes, can change the environment. This knowledge can help people make better choices about how to live alongside animals, like coy dogs, and protect the natural areas around them. Challenges of hybridization. Coy dogs, the mix between coyotes and domestic dogs, face several challenges because they are hybrids. These challenges affect not only the coy dogs themselves, but also the environment and the people who live near them. One big issue is that breeding coy dogs isn't always planned, and it can happen by accident when dogs and coyotes meet. This accidental breeding can create problems, because coy dogs might not have homes to go to. They might end up living in the wild, where they can struggle to find their place. Another challenge is their health. Coy dogs can inherit different traits from their parents, and sometimes these traits don't work well together. This can make them more likely to get sick compared to pure coyotes or dogs. They might also have behaviors that are hard to predict, which makes it difficult to take care of them as pets. People also debate whether it's right to have coy dogs as pets. Some people think it's interesting to have a pet that's part wild, but others worry about the safety and the well-being of the animal. Since coy dogs can be unpredictable, they might not always be happy living in a home like a regular dog would. Lastly, there are legal issues with owning coy dogs. Some places have laws about keeping wild or hybrid animals as pets. These laws are there to protect both the animals and the people around them. Because coy dogs are part coyote, they might be included in these laws, which can make it hard for people to legally have them as pets. Overall, the challenges of hybridization make it important for people to think carefully about the impacts of allowing dogs and coyotes to breed. It's a complex issue that affects animal welfare and the environment. Human interest and cultural impact. Coy dogs, which are part coyote and part dog, are very interesting to many people. People are often fascinated by animals that are a mix of wild and domestic traits. Coy dogs catch the attention of many because they are not very common and have unique qualities that make them stand out. In many stories and shows, hybrids like coy dogs are often shown as mysterious and special animals. They can represent wild nature, coming together with the familiar world of pets. This makes them popular subjects in tales and myths, where the wild and the tame blend together. Also, people who have met or lived with coy dogs often have special stories to tell. Some might share how their coy dog behaves differently from other pets. Others might talk about the special care these animals need because of their mixed nature. These personal stories help others understand what it's like to interact with such a unique animal. Additionally, coy dogs can be seen as symbols of how humans and nature interact. They remind us that our world often overlaps with the homes of wild animals. Coy dogs show us what can happen when wild animals and pets live close together. They make people think about how we share our environment with all kinds of creatures. Overall, coy dogs have a strong effect on culture and human interest. They make us curious about nature and the many ways it can surprise us. They also make us think about our responsibility to care for all kinds of animals, whether they are wild, domestic, or something in between. This interest in coy dogs helps us learn more about nature and our role in protecting it. So this was all about today's video. Do let us know your thoughts in comments. Please subscribe to The Amazing Dogs. Thank you for watching.